New setup, who dis? Shut up! Hi, hey, I'm Morgan, and today we're gonna do something a little different. So Ian and I are going out here in a smidge, and I figured, well, I'm gonna be getting ready anyway, might as well film a video. So we're gonna do like a bookish get ready with me. So I'm gonna do my makeup and talk about books, and it's gonna be a super chill time. First things first, I'm currently reading Caught on the Hawk. I'm taking my sweet ass time with it right now and just kind of savoring it. I've been taking it with me to work, but being a supervisor and running the floor, like, my breaks aren't really my breaks because I still end up having to take care of like damage control stuff. Reading at work hasn't really been a thing that I could even manage to do. So if I'm not exhausted after work, or if I don't go into work at 5:30 in the morning and end up going in like later in the afternoon, I can sometimes read, but it hasn't been something I can really do. I'm loving it. Being back in Henrietta is so much fun. I took a pause from my Raven Cycle reread to read Caught on the Hawk, and then I think I'm going to finish rereading Blue Lily Lily Blue and The Raven King, and then reread Caught on the Hawk and annotate my copy of Caught on the Hawk, because I think that'd be really fun. So I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that right after I finish Caught on the Hawk. I'm gonna read some other things in between. Another one being The Toll by Neil Shusterman, which I have at the top of my shelf. Also, this is a new setup. I have all of my shelves over here at mine and Ian's place, even though we're going to be moving again soon. Ian and I are both planning on reading The Toll in the very near future, right?
Exactly.
Thank you. Sometimes your boyfriend is good. And by that I mean my boyfriend is good all the time, so I don't know if you guys have a good boyfriend all the time, but my boyfriend's the best!
I'm a goblin sometimes.
You are a bit of a goblin sometimes, but I still love you even when you're a goblin. Yep, get used to it, bub. But yeah, I'm really excited about The Toll. I can't wait to sob violently at the conclusion of this series. Other than that, like, there's no other releases I'm really anticipating this year. I haven't read The Wicked King, so I'm not on the hype train for Queen of Nothing, but once I read The Wicked King, which requires me to reread The Cruel Prince because I was in the worst mental state when I read it. I also haven't been like filming or reading that much because I've been really into playing Street Fighter V. Ian and I play in like a local tourney with all our pals every Monday. And it's so much fun. I'm actually garbage at the game, but I'm learning and progressing. And now I have to go save the world from the Fire Nation. What are you gonna do? Oh, and I also said that we're moving. I guess I could touch more on that. Dogs aren't allowed here at this apartment, and that means Morpo's not allowed. And not having Porpy with me is literally the most heart-wrenching thing ever. Waking up every day not having my dog with me is actual torture. And she's with my parents right now, which I'm so grateful for, but I just hate every day not getting to have her with me. So we're looking at new places and trying to move in the next few months so Porpy can be with us all the time. I'm trying to think of any other book things I could talk about. There's not really a lot. I just wanted to do new like content because I'm trying to branch out in terms of my videos, because as much as I love BookTube and I love talking about books, I love other things just as much. I'm not like gonna be a beauty YouTuber. It's still really fun to do like get ready with me videos and talk about makeup or talk about books while I'm doing other things. I really want to do like, so Sarah from String Bean Books beat me to it. She has a video series on her channel called Stitch and Bitch Sundays where she crochets a hat, and every time she like works on that project she films it and talks about books. And I wanted to do, not on Sundays, but I wanted to do a frequent series on my channel called Stitch and Bitch, where I cross stitch and talk about books and talk about like a certain thing in the book community, whether it's like a release or releases that I'm excited about or what have you. I told Sarah I was still planning on doing the video, and she was like, go for it, because I want to have something like chill and fun on my channel that people can just like put on while they do mindless things or while they work on like a project, because watching Sarah's Stitch and Bitch videos is one of my favorite things to do while I cross stitch, and I want to provide that kind of content for other booktubers, like just something long form that you can mindlessly put on, and not mindlessly, but something you can put on and not have to worry about changing the video because of reasons. So I just think that'd be super fun. Oh, this contour's intense. Oh no. But yeah, so I kind of wanted to have something like that in the meantime before I film a stitching video, because I decided I'm gonna work on a brand new cross stitch project for those videos, and I have so many cross stitch patterns that it's hard for me to pick, and I want to have a finished project before I start a new one. I've become super obsessed with cross stitching. With my OCD, it's been so helpful. I typically will put on an audiobook and just stitch my fucking heart out. That's mainly how I was able to read the entire Harry Potter series in the span of 2 months was because of the audiobooks and because of cross stitching. Physically reading was so mentally strenuous for me. I had so much shit go on with my health and with like personal matters that Ian and I were dealing with. You girls been going through it, and reading was super hard for me to even think about doing, but audiobooks have been so vastly helpful and been so supportive in that, and being able to pick up a new craft like cross stitching while I've been so mentally like strained has been so nice, like a literal lifesaver. Speaking of content I want to do that isn't entirely bookish, I did a video where I like showed all of my vinyl, and I'm really happy with that one. I don't think anyone on BookTube is gonna be like super into it, but if you guys get any good music recommendations out of it, that's all I want, because so many of my friends on BookTube have been like, oh my god, I listen to Jetty Bones because you talk about them on Twitter so much, or hey, you talk about the Wonder Years every fucking day, made me listen to Sister Cities, and now the Wonder Years is my favorite band. And it's like, what the fuck? I love that. I just want to do more than just like book stuff. Obviously I'm not changing my channel name. I'm still going to be MorgyyReads because I like that. Doing other things and having a multifaceted channel doesn't mean that I'm not a booktuber anymore. And I think so many people like feel the need to start like a second, third, fourth channel for all of their hobbies, and I think that is so highly unnecessary. If you're you and your content is what you want it to be, then let your content be what you want it to be. You don't have to make a channel for every facet of your life, like Morggy vlogs, Morggy plays Street Fighter, Morggy has tattoos. My channel name is MorgyyReads, but this isn't like always going to be just about books. Like primarily, yes, I'm going to talk about books and what I'm reading and what I'm liking, but if there's like a time where I want to talk about like music, or I want to do like a chill video like this, or a discussion video about mental health, like I'm gonna fucking do that. And y'all are just gonna have to deal with the fact that my name is just always gonna be MorgyyReads, regardless of if I'm reading or if I'm talking about my tattoos or like the fact that I was in a cult. Like shit just is, you know? Am I gonna leave in the part where I say I was in a cult?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why not? We're not cowards in this house.
I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about, and content is content is content is content. I just think it's so silly to make like 30 side channels of just me being myself, because I'm gonna be myself in every single one of my videos, regardless of what my content is and regardless of what video I'm making. And like sending you all to different places, like what does that fucking do? I don't know why I got on this subject. I think I was just thinking about it the other day that like I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I am not gonna continue to like explain myself or apologize that I'm not always gonna talk about books because I've done so many vlogs and you guys see so much of my life like in those vlogs that y'all know that I don't just sit in my room and read all day, that I work and that I do other things and that I love doing other things. I love playing Street Fighter with Ian. I love discussing like tattoo culture and being a tattooed person and like crafting. I'm just a multifaceted person, just like every other person. I don't just have one hobby, and I'm not going to pretend that I just have one hobby because like, what good is it to lie to you all? That ain't it. I just have so many ideas for videos that I want to do that aren't entirely bookish. Like once my sleeve is finished, I want to do a video talking about every single one of my tattoos. But also, why do I have to wait until my fucking sleeve is finished? Because I don't want to show like an unfinished tattoo, but I also feel like I don't have, like, I wanted to wait until my sleeve was finished because I have a Harry Potter sleeve and I felt like it wouldn't work on a booktube channel to have a tattoo video unless my book related tattoo was finished, which is a really weird thought that I came up with and a really weird like stipulation for myself. Like, oh yeah, I can make a video about my tattoos, but not until this book tattoo is finished because like otherwise the book community won't care about my tattoos. And it's like, if the book community doesn't care about my tattoos, they're not gonna care once this particular tattoo is finished. I love videos about body modification and I love videos talking about body mods, especially because like I partake in body modifications such as stretching my ears and like getting tattooed and pierced and stuff. I have a ton of ideas for videos that I want to do and I'm gonna branch out past booktube because y'all can't tell me what to do. My battery really is dying though and that's annoying. Oh, BookCon tickets went for sale. Like, I want to go, but at the same time, all I went for last year was like to meet Maggie Stiefvater and to meet my friends. So if I go to BookCon this year, it would only be for one day and Ian and I would probably just go back to Brooklyn and go to Brooklyn Pizza Market and eat so much fucking pizza. Literally, the high points of our New York trip were that day of BookCon. Like, meeting friends and meeting Maggie Stiefvater was super cool. Getting rainbow bagels with Jeff and Natasha. And then Brooklyn. Just the city of Brooklyn. Like, Manhattan sucks balls. Like, I hated it. I hated every fucking second of it. I had a panic attack in the Strand. I don't know why y'all hyped that fucking store up so much. The Strand is like if you elongated the Book Loft and made it super corporate and then just had every asshole in America in there. Like, it's so annoying. Like, I'm used to a really cramped bookstore because the Book Loft is so cramped and like all the walkways are narrow. But like, take that, give it like 4 different floors, and then no one knows how to get out of the fucking way, and then you have the Strand. I liked going to BookCon a lot, but I don't know. I don't know who all is going too. Because I know Kate is going to do another booktube meetup with pins again, and I would love to get another annual booktuber pin and to see everybody. But last year I had such a rough time mentally in terms of feeling like wanted in the community. Not because anybody particularly made me feel that way. I had a huge anxiety attack on day 2 of BookCon after the booktuber meetup. I don't even know how to even start talking about that mess. So I won't talk about that mess. Realistically, that is going to be the next time that Ian and I get to hang out with Jeff and Natasha. And honestly, I would travel anywhere just to hang out with them again because I miss them so much. And I think Rhiannon is going to go again. And I would love to see them. And like Bella and Q, I think we're talking about going. I've been off Twitter for a very long time. I just go on there and post pictures of my dog and then I like disappear into the void because my anxiety's been trash lately, but I want to feel like I'm not just like popping in and out of people's lives. And I feel like sometimes I've tricked everyone into thinking that I'm a good friend and a good person. And then once I'm like in person, I'm like, fuck, they all know that I've bamboozled them. Because imposter syndrome is really fun. It's not fun at all, actually. That's the real tea.
You're a gem. What did everyone tell you otherwise?
No, I tell myself otherwise.
You are anyone.
On the subject of going to BookCon, I'd probably only go to see my friends. Like, and go maybe one day. I don't even know what authors are announced. It's a maybe right now in terms of BookCon. I just like, last year I had so much anxiety because I didn't know if I like really belonged in the community and if anybody really wanted me around, because my anxiety does that and makes me feel like I'm bothering everybody and ruining everybody's good time just by existing and being there. And that doesn't feel very good, and I don't want to spoil anybody's time. You know, and I don't want to feel like I'm just there. And that's kind of how I felt, was that I was just kind of there. And not a fun time, not a good look on me. Hello, continuity error. My camera shut off, and I also hated how my eyeshadow looked. So I started over while my camera was charging. But still gotta have an outro for a video I might just throw away. To sum up everything I wanted to say, I'm reading really good books, I'm doing really fun things, I have a lot of ideas for my channel that are bookish and are not bookish, and I might be going to BookCon. To sum it up even farther, I'm going to continue to do whatever the fuck it is that I want to do and what makes me happy, and provide better content as a result of that. I think the biggest thing I could say about this year and about my just overall growth as a person is that I've stopped doing things just because I think that it'll earn me like some sort of like likeness among other people, and it'll earn me some sort of like favorability or favor, because I stopped being happy after I started doing everything that everyone else wanted from me. And once I started like living for myself and all that mess, like, happiness just came for me tenfold. And I'm just gonna transfer that from my personal life into my content. So even if I'm not making totally bookish content, I'm doing what makes me happy. Like, that's it. So yeah, where are my glasses? I can't see shit. So that is all I have for today's kind of hot mess of a video, but like sometimes I'm a hot mess, so that's fine. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. Talk to me in the comments about whatever you want to talk to me about. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy, like, I love doing chill, chatty videos, and I love having any sort of excuse or validity in doing chill chatty videos, because just sitting and talking isn't fun for me. I like to have like a task at hand or something that I'm doing with my hands. Have fun looking at that ring light glare, because I'd rather see than have like a fully functional aesthetic. If you want to see more of my content and more of my mug, you can always subscribe. I am trying to get to a schedule of uploading every Monday and Friday. I feel like that's really good, and I have a wide array of bookish and non-bookish content coming. And like I said, my name is Morgan. This is MorgyyReads, even though I don't just talk about books. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and stay great. I don't know, usually my outro says happy reading.
Stay frosty.
Ian said stay frosty, so we'll end it on that. Okay, bye!
Those tips for mad pussy.
Did you say frost those tips for my pussy?
For mad pussy.
For mad pussy. I'm gonna frost my pussy tips.
For mad.
No, I'm going to bleach the tips of my pussy hair. I'm still filming.